It is the Riot podcast on your
Today's
podcast
Wednesday.
server. Yes, it's Wednesday. I was just thinking of saying RadioU, but
Sure.
maybe you're listening at RadioU.com, but most likely you're listening on iTunes. Is it still called iTunes? Or
Yeah, on Apple for podcasts.
They still call it
Yeah, so
Apple
if you check out
Podcasts,
riot.radiou.com, you can find all the ways, just in case, because I know some people listen on Facebook.
Yep.
Some people check out our podcast on YouTube, or
Yep.
sometimes people use podcast apps.
Or there's like Stitcher. What are all? There's so many apps now.
There's a lot.
Pocket Cast, anything with cast in the title. It could be.
Well, how about this? You text us to 877-2-RADIO-U, and what cast do you use of your
what
choice?
Cast? Mine is Podcast Addict.
Oh, is that what
the
you
one I
use?
use?
Yeah.
And it's true because I am an addict. And I listen to the Riot every day, of course, to see how horrible we were. So today,
quality control.
yeah, I listen and then I feel bad. Is what I do.
Not bad. You're not bad. You're wonderful.
Today in the show, we get to the CDC banning dogs.
It's quite a title.
Yeah, you think there's no way, like they're playing that up. It's not. That is not inaccurate. What I just said. They are banning dogs from the United States.
Dogs coming into the United States.
Oh, you had to leave that for them to find out later.
I know, but find out from where.
Yeah, right. Before they don't get to that part of the podcast, they just start posting about it on our forums.
I know. You want to find out where and why.
Well, we don't need to have such a low opinion of the podcast listener. They're not just necessarily posting conspiracy theories on forums all the time.
But it is kind of sad. There's a lot to it. So hang tight. That'll come up.
Do need to stick around for that one. Also, a new app, at least it's new to us, that helps reduce food waste by letting you eat garbage. And pay to do so.
Well, could you stop calling it garbage?
No, that's what it is.
Food.
It is still food.
It's not garbage until it goes into a garbage can.
If it's not sellable, you are the garbage can in this story.
I just think you're being a little extra harsh on it. I don't know. Like, I want to make sure it's cheap enough that they're not trying to charge for this sort of thing. But we'll tell you about the app, and then you can decide at what point does restaurant food become garbage.
Yes, and then near the beginning of the podcast, we also get to the new prequel series coming to Disney Plus.
Oh.
We need another one, and it's not Marvel related, so we're not excited about it.
Well, we'll let you.
Oh, today's Loki Day.
Oh, it is.
You got to catch up, Nikki. Because tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the new episode, and you're going to be all behind.
I don't want to be a part of it.
Oh,
it's fine.
Come on.
But thank you guys for listening to the podcast. What happens tomorrow? You'll have to make sure to listen then. But thank you guys. And head over to Radio U Riot on Facebook and YouTube because we're just a couple minutes away from doing an after show. So you won't hear it in the podcast. We're going to taste test some new items, and you can watch us later when you're done with the podcast.
Sounds like a plan.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you later.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Did you stay up too late last night like I did?
I did too.
You did? What were you watching? TikToks?
No, I had to work late, so I was trying to watch stuff while I was working.
Oh, yeah.
To try to multitask.
It's a fool's errand.
It is.
Is what it is.
I'm sitting here like, well, this is great. I could just get all these YouTube videos out of my...
out of your queue,
Yeah, out of my to watch later stuff, and that I'm not paying attention to either thing.
Yeah, I've really found that whether it comes to podcasts or watching shows, that a lot of times when you try to do that and work, you get the worst of both worlds. You don't fully grasp what's going on, and your work suffers.
You're not committing to either one.
Yep.
And it's not just work. Your video watching suffers.
Yeah, it really does.
You're not really catching what they're saying.
And then all of a sudden you have to go back and rewind a few, and then you're really not paying attention to the work.
That's right. So if you too are tempted by the lure of like, oh, I can just multitask and do all this, sometimes you just got to do one at a time.
Well, I wasn't working. I was just staying up to watch the basketball game, which is also a mistake.
Fine. Well, no, that's for the show, so you were working.
Well, yeah, but how much time are we really going to spend on it?
That's up to you.
The Bucks.
You can make it all about it if you want.
The Bucks lost to the Nets last night, and you could see it coming a mile away. Like, they got out to a good start.
Yeah.
They had like a 17-point lead, and it's like, all right, I guess the Nets are just done. And then you could tell. and there's just a moment, and all of a sudden it was down to 15 and 10. And then once I said in the fourth quarter, if the Nets take the lead, I'm just going to bed. And they did, but it wasn't quite early enough for me to still get enough sleep. So.
Sure, it was still too much. And I can't remember, do you hate one of those teams?
Yeah, oh yeah. Definitely hate the Nets.
Nets, okay. I gotta write that one down.
I hate Kevin Durant. I hate their dumb jerseys that, Nikki, the team is Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Their jerseys have BKLYN. You're not even including the, I get it if you're trying to cut out the vowels, but then you still have to include the R, because otherwise it's Bicklin.
No,
what does Bicklin mean?
It looks like they're lying about Brooklyn.
Right, I don't get it. And then they don't even if I could take the weird no vowel version, but it doesn't even look good. So,
well, I appreciate Hudson's hate for them goes so deep that even the jersey they wear,
the jerseys. But actually, that's a big part of hating any team for me a lot of the time.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
The story we've all been waiting to hear will finally be told on Disney Plus. We're talking Gaston and LeFou. What were they like before they started chasing Belle around the castle?
What made them the way they were?
Yes. I suppose there is something that's mildly interesting about why LeFou hangs out with Gaston.
Yeah.
But
where the friendships start.
Right. Why is he so loyal to him? Why does he start singing that song about how great Gaston is? But do we really need... Is there any layers that we need to dive down into to find out about Gaston?
They think that we do, and they think it should be an 8-episode limited series. And so they're saying that this Gaston prequel will be a musical, and it'll...
Oh, no.
Of course it will be.
Stop.
Hudson loves musicals. It'll take place years before when they did the live action Beauty and the Beast. It'll be years before that setting of that story.
Yes, it is actually with the same characters, the same actors as the live action Beauty and the Beast. Did you see it?
I did. I didn't like it, man.
Yeah.
I did not.
Not good.
I thought the Beast, it was just all like, I can't, and I just don't understand. It was just very weird, and I maybe don't think everybody's as strong of a actor in that movie, and it was just not my thing.
I never saw it because it does not appeal to me at all.
Well, you're not going to like it.
No, I'm never going to watch it.
Just a heads up on that.
I just... it does occur to me, though, when you watch The Beauty and the Beast, what is the difference between Gaston and the Beast? Maybe the Gaston just needs an old witch to come to his door and curse him, and then he would learn a lesson about treating people with kindness and respect, and that beauty is on the inside and not the outside. Maybe
that's right.
It's not really fair, the movie.
I think we're not going to want to dive too deep into this.
No, we are. We're diving in eight episodes. We are.
I don't think Disney should. It's like it's really been weird. If you grow up watching, Beauty and the Beast, and the 101 Dalmatians. So with Cruella, it's just really hard because when you were a kid, that's how you learned right and wrong. Mm-hmm. Like if you grew up on Disney stuff, because the wrong was always the villain of the movie. And now you're like being taught that they were just misunderstood. You're misunderstood.
If you have the right backstory, you're justified in your horrible actions, is what I'm being told.
You had the Cruella stuff and the Maleficent stuff and everybody else that they're going to be making a villain sort of story on, and hey, how did they get to this point?
Yeah.
So my poor little Nikki brain is just but wait a minute, I thought they were doing wrong.
Yeah. And Gaston especially is the most one-dimensional and really you can easily identify Gaston with somebody in public or, somebody in your life where it's just it's just a guy. There's nothing special about him. And he just thinks that he can have whichever woman he wants and that he can treat them however he wants. There's nothing deeper than that. It's just how people are, how so many people are.
But now we get an 8-episode story arc about him.
Maybe if we learn from what makes him him, we can learn not to be him.
Well, also, I have a real hard time connecting with something when I know the ending.
Yeah.
And so, this isn't a spoiler. I mean, we've all seen Beauty and the Beast, haven't we?
Right.
But at the end, you're just like, you're going to die.
Yeah.
So I really can't watch things when I'm like, oh, you're bad.
Yeah.
And it all ends.
Maybe we'll see in this that Gaston did have a encounter like with a witch or whatever. And he didn't learn his lesson, and that's why he eventually meets his demise.
Well,
he had the same opportunity the Beast was given, and he didn't take it.
It's exhausting. He could just be annoying.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki just shared this story with me about Vanilla Ice, and I have a lot more questions than I have answers at the moment.
Well, basically, Vanilla Ice is an old artist.
Yeah.
And
it was like 30 years ago when his song Ice Ice Baby came out.
You had to remember, right?
Yeah.
And then he did some acting, and then he had a home renovation show for a while.
He also went through a phase where he was on like every MTV, VH1 show.
Yes.
I remember watching one with him in it. This was when I was fairly young. I don't remember what it was called, but it was entertaining.
I feel like he's had his highs and his lows.
And
they were all on for us to watch.
You know what? It was some show. It was like the D-list celebrities or something like that.
I can feel that.
And
yeah.
It was like him and Vern Troyer and China Doll from the wrestling. And why did I watch that when I was
why do you
probably
remember
like
that?
9 years old? Well, I don't know.
Well, how about this? If you're more into podcasts that are like the murder sort of mystery sort of podcasts that are super popular,
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice wants to get on that. And this one's a really weird one because we just don't know anything about it. But in the 80s, there was a Derby horse winner.
Okay.
And the horse was kidnapped in 1983 from Ireland, from a farm there.
Yep.
And they demanded millions of dollars for this horse's return, but it was not paid, and the horse has never been seen again.
Okay.
And
it's probably dead now.
Well, spoiler, then we don't have to listen to the podcast.
Well, it was 40 years ago.
I know you're right. But then also I think the groom, for the horse,
Okay.
he was taken too and never seen again.
Yeah.
So they say it's this big mystery in the horse world. And so he's going to do a podcast about the mystery of it. Of who kidnapped Shergar, the horse.
I guess there is some level of intrigue there, but what if the groom just rode the horse off into the sunset and
no, I think they
started a new life?
I think they knew they were kidnapped, but maybe the groom was involved in it.
Yeah, they don't know who did it or where they eventually wound up. It's interesting, but why Vanilla Ice though?
He says he's always been interested in horses since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And he did a song in 2019. And so after this song called Ride the Horse, Vanilla Ice was invited by the BBC to do their 7-part podcast.
That's all you need to do, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to release a song called, I don't know, something about a horse also. Maybe they'll invite me to do the next one.
Well, I was telling Hudson, I was like, hey, do you know the RadioU Vanilla Ice connection?
No, I didn't know there was one.
So he came on years and years and years ago. I think during maybe not the highest time.
Well, yeah.
You just go back and forth,
He had
right?
one high time. Oh, you mean of Radio U? Or?
No, not like for Radio U, but like for him, he was just making news for good choices or not so amazing choices.
Okay.
And so he had gotten a Radio U shirt when he came in, and he had then, I think a year later, shown up on some daytime talk show.
Okay.
Not a good one. Not about good
Ellen.
stuff.
Oh.
No, it was just like, what was his name? Like Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer, Maury.
Something along those lines. And what shirt do you think he's wearing?
Oh, of course.
He's
the
wearing
Radio
the Radio
U one.
shirt. Yeah. And we're just like, well, it's still good publicity, I guess.
All publicity is good publicity.
It is, but I just remember that time we were like, is that our shirt? Yes, that is.
I don't know what's more surprising, that he kept the shirt and would wear it in the future, or that he even wound up here in the first place.
I know. There should be a podcast about that.
Maybe he'll wear the shirt for the podcast.
You'll just know he's wearing it because you're going to see it.
You know, podcasts these days, they're almost all have a video version as well.
Sure.
So maybe he's got that.
So that's coming soon, a 8-part or 7-part BBC podcast with Vanilla Ice about some kidnapped horse in the 1980s. And just about the mystery of it.
This is it's a Mad Lib, isn't it?
I don't know.
Wait, this isn't a real news story. We just took a news story and filled in the blanks. Vanilla Ice is doing a horse mystery podcast.
Horse.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I feel that in the Philippines, it's more of a tradition to give more creative names, or at least what we would call creative names. I guess they would call them maybe more non-traditional names, because we've seen stories like this in the past. But this one is a guy, he's a web designer, and he named his newborn baby Hypertext Markup Language because he wanted to pay homage to the job that he has.
Oh, really?
So that
HMTL? HTML?
Yep, HTML in other words.
All right.
And
I could not remember my acronym for it.
This is good. This is teaching me because I didn't know what HTML stood for.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, wait, that's what we've been saying this whole time?
And I still don't know the application of what is HTML and what does it do, or what is the importance of it in the web design world.
I feel like for us, when we say HTML, it's almost like when someone says www.
Yes.
We just don't say it at all.
Yeah, it's not used. It only reminds me of the Devil Wears Prada song.
Yeah.
HTML rules, dude, I think is what they said.
I would have liked it more if that was his,
his middle name is Rules, dude. And then it would be an homage to the Devil Wears Prada. That's something to do.
The dad was a fan of them.
Yeah. I like how the dad does say, he says, having unique names is a family tradition. His name is Mac Pasquale.
Oh, okay.
Nothing more unique than that.
All right.
Really, you can tell it runs in the family.
That is right.
So, I mean, what's next? Is he going to have a little brother named World Wide Web? I think that'd be good.
Well, I guess I just what do they call the baby though? Like when you're calling it?
That's a good point.
What do you yell out or?
Because HTML, even if you shorten it to initials, that's too long.
You need
some
just
nickname.
Hypertext. You need a nickname. I don't know if the nickname would come from the actual words.
Yeah, I wonder what the middle name is.
Well, if not, you'd be like Henry for H. Something like that. You can have a unique name on paper, but
maybe other internet things. I don't know. I wish I knew more about what HTML was. I think I could have some better jokes or some better.
Everybody online was saying that, they weren't the nicest about the baby's name.
Yeah.
And it's not the baby's fault.
No.
But they were saying, you should get into some coding acronyms for any other kids you have down the road.
Yeah. Just keep it as a theme in the family. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, cute baby, but terrible name.
It might have some issues growing up regarding to people making fun of him.
Well, he'll just have to own it. He'll have to be real bold about it.
And does he have to also follow in his father's footsteps and become a web designer? Because it'd be really weird to have the name HTML and then you're like a hairdresser or something.
I think what would happen is, you'll go through remember when we were all rebellious?
Right, your phase.
And he's totally not doing anything along that because he wants to be his own person.
He hates web design. Yeah, yep. I'm not just like you, Dad.
I can hear the argument and we're not even there.
I feel that HTML actually, it fits even better if he becomes like some avant-garde artist,
Probably.
Just really setting up these totally weird displays in empty mall storefronts.
And his art is fueled by the hate of his dad.
That's right.
So.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
The CDC, they start talking to us about coronavirus, and it was a slippery slope because all of a sudden now they're trying to tell us what we can and can't do with dogs.
Hey, wait, though, Hudson. Technically, they were there before COVID, and there was all other stuff, too.
And no one listened to them then.
And we're not
going to listen to them now.
Come on, guys. We can't do this to the doggies. What are we supposed to do?
The CDC has said that they are banning the import of dogs from 113 countries.
Starting July 14th.
Yes. So if you want to get a dog from one of these countries, you've got a month, and that's it. And the reason being is they are concerned about the spread of rabies.
Well, at first I thought, well, maybe it was a COVID thing,
Right.
But that's not it. They say countries including Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Russia, Ecuador, Cuba, Malaysia, Indonesia, Brazil, and China. They say that they're considered to be high-risk areas for rabies. And there's a full list of banned countries. So no European Union nations or United Kingdom, they're not on the list.
Right,
But it seems like almost everybody else.
Yeah, almost all of South America and Asia seems to be the ones that they are targeting with this. And they say that rabies still kills 59,000 people a year
But
worldwide.
Not here.
No.
They say like in the United States, because of our successful dog vaccination program, that basically rabies has been gone since they say 2007. It might pop up every so often, but for the most part, that's not here.
Yep, we're living in a post-rabies world here in the U.S., and we want to keep it that way.
That's why they don't want to bring in dogs. But I guess my question was, so like sometimes if you rescue animals, they'll come from China or from other places.
Yeah.
So can you not bring those rescued dogs in anymore?
I guess not, because it could have rabies. I just don't know why.
Can't we fix that?
Yeah, can't we vaccinate if you can get a vaccination in the dog before it even enters the country? Is there a possible way to administrate that? I don't know, but
they say
it feels drastic, though.
Well, they're suspending it at this time because of, they say, all right, so this makes a bit more sense. COVID's effects on, in other nations, here, like COVID changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you were sick with anything, if you went like a year or so ago before COVID,
right,
and you were sick, you would be seen, there'd be an urgency.
Yes, of course.
But now if you didn't have COVID,
yeah,
you don't even get to see the doctor.
Right.
But that was always important. So they say in other countries, COVID became the number one thing. So pandemic efforts on rabies vaccination programs went away.
Okay.
So they weren't doing that. And so now you have all these dogs that have falsified vaccine rabies cards.
Oh, that's no good.
So they can get the dogs through inspection. They say that the dogs go through inspection, and again, because of COVID stuff, they wait in storage so much and they're ill. A lot of them die before they get in, and they're not, just going to allow them to come in anymore.
Yeah, that makes it, it really takes a sad turn there. It's one thing for us not to be able to get dogs here into the United States, but it's another, the circumstances they're experiencing. Yeah, it's no good.
Let's go save them, Hudson.
Yeah, come on.
I can handle a few more.
All right.
We can have studio dogs.
We'll each assign a country, and we'll go get all the dogs out. You can have Ecuador. I'll take Malaysia.
Okay, before July 14th.
Yes, we don't have much time.
And you have to make sure, because otherwise, it didn't say how long the ban would be. But I think as other countries go back to more normal
it might catch up.
They might actually be able to go back to not lying about the rabies stuff.
But you also have to remember that other countries aren't catching up on COVID as quickly as maybe we are here. So
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Trying to fight the urge to eat a zebra cake roll before we have our Krispy Kreme donuts. That's the only thing that's holding me back. It's like one terrible thing for me a day, and I'm counting the 4 Krispy Kreme donuts we're going to eat as one thing.
We're doing an after show just a little bit later this morning, so make sure you get notifications and you're following us at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We're also trying the sun-kissed berry lemonade and the strawberry.
Shoot. That means 2 bad things.
Yes, two
but
different.
it's all in one food fight, so it only counts as one.
I don't think your
in my body
will be saying that.
No, I'm telling my body. I am the master.
It doesn't need zebra cakes in there too.
So as I went into the break room to check out the zebra cake rolls, I was really there to make coffee, which I said to you, and it brought up something with me that I want to ask you about. I have become self-conscious about the way I say coffee. Do you think it's weird how I say?
Well, you said it once, like before you just said it right there. That was different. But then every other time, I feel like you say it fine.
Like coffee.
Coffee.
Am I putting too much on the O? Is that what it like? Is that what it is?
I don't feel like you are, but again, now we're going to be really aware.
Yeah, really. I am. I already was, and now I'm letting it out, so I'm even more so.
Okay, if you weren't listening, yes, or you don't know, say, I like to drink coffee while I play with my Pokemon Go.
I like to drink coffee while I play with my Pokemon Go.
I bet you go,
coffee. Okay, my question for you was, what are your words that you're super self-conscious about how you say them?
What is the word rural? I hate that word.
Wait.
I hate it. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
But I think you just did it fine.
I know, but I hate it.
Rural. It is
like
it's just a bad word. It was not well thought out, whoever came up with that.
It's not. I hate it. And there's just a lot when you're in radio and when we're talking so much, sometimes you're just like, I didn't say it right. Don't say it right. I hate that word.
Yes, and you have to really be careful about some things, because certain things, if you say them wrong, like you're winding up sounding like a fool on the radio.
We are.
Yes, we are fools. But the other one for me that I know of comes to at the top of my head is how I say water.
Yeah.
And the only reason I question how I say it is because you guys did an interview with Jen Ledger from Skillet a while ago, and she's British.
Yeah.
And so she says that's the word that she can't pronounce, that people won't understand the first time she says water, like that was much more like Boston-y, but with her English accent,
sure,
that's the one that she gets tripped up on, and then she has to say it like overly American, like water, and that's how I feel like I say it. I feel like I'm the one going water all the time.
And coffee.
And so I have to really watch how I say, I try to say water the right way.
I don't think I've ever noticed it, so I don't think you always do it.
Okay.
You just might be more...
I'm more attuned.
Worried about it.
So wait, is there anything else I say that I do say weird?
No, not that I've noticed. No.
One time I went on a trip it was going up to Canada, and we drove through Maine, and we stopped in Maine at a gas station, and the gas station was like, "Are you guys from Maryland?" Because you could tell by the way we talked that we had a Maryland accent.
Well, I don't know.
And some people say you can tell that I have a Canadian accent, even though I hardly lived in Canada and just from there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have so many different things that are all competing, all these different dialects.
You lived in a tiny portion of your life in New Jersey, so you're going to pick up something there.
I don't even know what the New Jersey turns of phrase would be, but...
Well, good luck. You're just a plethora of words there.
You have it easier because you grew up mostly in the same area, right? So
yeah, I just sometimes Sam was right. Sam just texted. I hate saying ambulance. I hate it. I would say wrong a lot.
I don't think what you said was wrong.
It's not.
But I would put more of the emphasis on the I would say ambulance, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe. And then I can't say I still can't do it.
Well, fortunately, that doesn't come up.
Apothecary.
No, that's...
a plague on both your houses. That word.
Fortunately, that doesn't come up very often, though.
I know, but I hate that word.
Apothecary?
Yes,
I've never had any issues with that.
Well, that's why together we just have our own strengths and weaknesses.
If we just go through the show and we took turns on saying the words that we don't think we could say for the other one, I think it would be a pretty good show.
I think, though, we have to watch it because you guys, too, if you start bringing up all these words we don't say right, feelings are going to get hurt.
It's really something you think about.
Yeah.
And then you can't, we spent probably 30 seconds yesterday at least trying to figure out how to pronounce Pokemon right.
Yep.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Not too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on RadioU.
So did you see this on, it was actually on Monday night. I'm sure you didn't see it, Nikki. You don't watch basketball.
Well, you never know.
Did you?
No, I did not. But, and you know what? I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm sure the answer is no, I did not.
I don't think you did. It was Charles Barkley on the NBA on TNT, their pregame, postgame, halftime show for the basketball playoffs. He wanted to give a shout out to a guy who found Charles Barkley's wallet at a Chipotle.
Yeah.
And he actually contacted, the guy's name is Matt Piles, and he contacted TNT to get in touch so that he could return Charles Barkley's wallet to him. So Charles Barkley thanked him on the air. to then where everybody starts making fun of Charles Barkley for carrying a wallet. Yeah.
It's like, wait, I mean, I know some people that don't carry wallets,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of people of all ages who still carry a wallet.
Yeah, you're looking at one.
You still wear one?
I can't.
Carry one?
What would I do if I didn't have a wallet?
Well, you'd have your virtual one.
What virtual one?
Well, I mean, us phone users over here.
I have a phone.
We have a virtual
I'm on it all the
wallet,
time.
You
Yeah.
know, where our credit cards and all of our stuff are stored.
You trust your phone
I
to
do.
hold all of
Hey,
that?
Phone, don't you listen to Hudson. Don't you? You just sit back over there and you don't listen to that
Well,
man.
what do you do about your driver's license? I know Apple's making it so you can use that now, but
I don't get pulled over. It's rare. It happens every so often. But I still have my wallet like in my purse.
oh, so you do still have a wallet?
Well, I have a lot in my wallet.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. There's a lot of things you need. You need your ID. You need your vaccination card. You need all of the rewards cards you can now have
that's
on
on
your
my
phone.
phone,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't have a lot of rewards cards either. But you never know. You never know what in the wallet. Mine is it's full of stuff. You never know what you might need.
Mine's full of a few dollar bills. Nothing bigger than that. So don't be trying to steal anything. And some coins that have to be transported into my piggy bank at home
Yep.
for when I go to Coinstar. But outside of that, I mean, you're missing out if you're not carrying a wallet.
Yeah, you need to have a wallet. And mind you, Charles Barkley is getting close to 60. So are we really expecting him to not have a wallet? Come on.
And I'm not surprised he left his wallet at Chipotle.
And even the other guys on the show, it's not like they're so young. They've already moved past wallet age.
Yeah, but I think they just grabbed something to make fun of him for. But I mean,
Come on.
Don't you guys all have wallets still? It might not be the thick ones.
Yeah, not the dad wallet style.
You go to the skinnier ones.
Maybe you just like the little sleeve that just holds like maybe a few bills and a couple. I mean, honestly, that's probably what we all really need. We need to limit ourselves. We don't need all these rewards cards and business cards and punch cards. And
we didn't see his wallet, but maybe his wallet's like super thick.
It might be a dad wallet
that's
style.
That's more what they're making fun
where
of.
he's sitting uneven and they have to like adjust the shot because it's in his back pocket. And yeah.
Well, nice for a fan to get a hold of him and find his wallet and not go rifling through it and stealing everything and not giving it back.
Did you actually see too? The guy Chipotle is reaching out and saying that we want you, Matt Piles is his name, to come to Chipotle and we're going to give you free burritos for a year. And
that's nice of him.
Every Matt Piles is thanking this one Matt Piles
for making that possible.
Because you can't prove who it was or wasn't. So.
Well, I mean, unless you have your wallet with you. And we've gone full circle.
Yes, maybe we'll find Matt Piles' wallet.
I know.
It'll work out.
Aaron texted in and said, wait, some people don't carry wallets. Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're saying. Surprisingly,
but I think it's really the small wallet versus the dad everything in it wallet style.
I think it's getting overblown.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Really don't know how I feel about this because on the surface, the Too Good To Go app, have you heard of it?
They must be doing an ad campaign because I have seen that everywhere.
Really?
A lot of YouTube videos of people just trying it out.
Oh, yeah.
So it feels like they're trying some sort of campaign to get their name out.
It's an app where they partner up with restaurants. Mm-hmm. And the restaurants will then put their food from, I guess, like the previous day on there or just stuff that they otherwise would not serve to their customers. And they put that on the Too Good To Go app for cheaper. You get a discounted rate. And then if you were to go in there and try it out, you can purchase from them. And then they're going to bring you, they say they don't even really have a menu because you don't know what it's going to be. So
it's like
you get a surprise bag of some kind of meal.
It's a mystery bag. So like, let's say this restaurant's breakfast order is done or something. So basically you use the app from what I've watched. It'll show you the bigger city that you live in, the better the choices will be.
Of course.
Like if you're in a small place, they might not have any parking partners.
Yep.
But then you'll say, okay, I'm interested, and you can pick like a breakfast bag.
Yeah.
And then you have to go there at a certain time and claim the bag when they're offering them.
Yep.
And you pay for it, and then you go in and pick it up, and then it's a surprise. You're just getting whatever they still have stuff left over from.
And the whole idea is they want to, I guess, as a way of helping restaurants make sure that they can recoup some of their costs instead of just throwing the food away, and a way of reducing food waste so that there's not so much food thrown away, because that's a big problem. We throw away a lot of food in the United States and around the world.
We do. I hope it doesn't take away, because I know some places would donate to like food banks.
Yes, I was going to say Panera. I know they every day would have you would bag up the bagels and breads from the night before, and they would go to Soup Kitchen or something like that.
So I'd hope restaurants wouldn't like change that policy. But I do know there's lots of rules, and they're always changing, especially during COVID, of like what can go here, what can be resold, what cannot be sold, what do you have to throw away. There are rules with that.
Yes, so that all the intentions sound pretty good, but then there's the part of me that just can't get over the fact that you're going to be paying for garbage. They were going to throw this stuff away, and it's like they've got the bag hovering over the garbage can out in the dumpster out there.
And you're grabbing it.
And you're saying, wait, are you going to throw that away? And they're saying, yeah. And you're saying, well, can I have some? And they're saying, if you pay me $5, you can. You can pay $5 for this bag of garbage. Go right ahead.
You're having that, but in app form.
Right. It's just the app that is separating you from that actual interaction.
What is
And the funny thing is, if you came up to them at the back of the store,
they would have done that.
They probably would have just thrown it away. They'd be like, no, it's not safe. But for the app, it's safe.
Well, what is it? Another man's trash is
another man's treasure. Yep.
Yeah. So like, it's still food. It's not free, but it's still food.
It does seem like, because at first I thought they are giving it away for free, and then it's like, but why would the restaurants do that?
Yeah, you're just
because they're going to throw it away anyways. It's garbage.
You're paying for it for less price.
If it's not garbage, then why were they going to throw it away?
They say the ambition is to build a global movement for fighting food waste, and it's the Too Good To Go app that they're promoting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get in on it.
Okay, you're also saying that they would throw it away. They wouldn't. They'd keep selling it if they could.
That's what they're doing.
That's just rules for like restaurants and stuff. So
yeah, that's a fair point.
They would have kept selling that thing for days.
If they're not allowed to sell it, then it's not safe. Then it should be thrown in the garbage.
Yeah, we're garbage.
Yes.
Open up and just put it in me.
Let's just eat the garbage.
I would take it. It comes in a bag. It's fine.
Lower your expectations enough and you'll never be disappointed. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
How many seasons of Cobra Kai is enough?
It's done really well.
It really has.
So it used to be YouTube, and then Netflix bought it, and Netflix had one season that I think was the last one that they had still done with YouTube, so it kind of had its look.
Yeah.
And then they signed up for more stuff, but it would be with Netflix and kind of more their production style.
Right. So I guess they've done 3 seasons so far, and now we're working on season 4, which should be releasing soon. But the reason that this all comes up is they just wrapped up season 4, and then they also are thinking of making Karate Kid spin-off stuff for Netflix as well. There's a whole universe.
There is. I was kind of thinking at first, I'm like, well, isn't this a spin-off of the original? Like, it's already a spin-off, but it's more just like it's being remade.
Yeah.
But this means that they would take the side characters and spin them off somehow.
I don't know about enough. You know what? Actually, never mind. There is a pre-made spin-off you could already make, and it is the life of the original trainer. What's his name? Mr. Moriarty?
Oh, Mr. Miyagi.
Miyagi, right.
Oh, yeah, spin off that, like his origins.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of story to tell there, I'm sure, because he's pretty old in the movie, so there's probably a lot of life there. You can make a lot of seasons out of that.
Well, I think like in real life wise, didn't he pass away?
Yeah, the original one
The real
did.
guy, but then maybe you could tell the story of the character.
Right. Yes, a younger version played, of course, by somebody different, and pay homage to that character, Mr. Miyagi.
They're saying that this like fourth season could kind of wrap up the Cobra Kai style of it. And then they say that no pressure, but they have more stories to tell. So that's why it might go into other characters and kind of develop there. Or Cobra Kai season 4 will still do super good for Netflix and they'll just keep it going.
Yeah, it's really it's got a really big following. And I guess I don't know. I feel that there's a large section of that is the nostalgia of people who really love the Karate Kid from when they were growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm much too young for that. I haven't even seen any of the Karate Kid movies in full.
You didn't see the remake one?
Nope, I did not.
See that one?
I've seen a scene or two from that one with, what is it? Is it which Smith is in it? What's his name? Jaden Smith. Yeah, I've seen he was so tiny when he really was a kid.
He was a
when
kid,
that
that's
happened.
why.
And,
well, I guess we'll see what happens with Cobra Kai, but if you like the show, they're going to do more. They're just saying that after the fourth season, when it goes on Netflix later this year, they expect it to go in different ways.
Yeah, I think as long as it keeps drawing eyeballs, which it really is, this isn't, I guess I'm really breaking some new ground here.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Amazon is bringing the fight against COVID-19 to your doorstep. They are, and that means they're helping with it. They're not trying to.
You really do need to see how you're saying this. People will take it a different way.
They are providing you with the tools to fight back against COVID-19. If you're still concerned, like you still feel like maybe you're going to get it one day, and maybe you're even still working from home, Amazon is now making their COVID-19 test that they actually used on their employees and I guess continue to use.
Oh, they have some leftovers.
Yes, and they're making it for sale on Amazon.com for just $39.99 and 1-day shipping through Prime in some areas.
It's not a bad idea. I just feel like this is what we needed last year.
Right.
Like in the beginning when you're like, how can I get tested, or the line was so long?
Yep.
I feel like this feels over with because I know so many testing sites have closed down.
Right.
Or, it's not a difficult thing anymore. Is this the one where you still send it in somewhere?
Yes, that's actually exactly right. You take your own swab there from your nose.
Oh, you swab
and then
your nose.
You place it in a box with a prepaid return label. You send that off. It goes to a lab is what I'm trying to say.
Centralized?
Yes, a central location where they analyze it and then they will let you know about your results. Who has time for all of that now?
What do you mean? Like you want to know right away?
I don't know. Are we still doing everything where if you have symptoms, you just get to stay home from work until you find out if you're positive or not?
No, because if you've had the vaccine, it's different. Or if you still have symptoms.
Yeah.
Or if you go and you get tested, there's all these variations of it.
Maybe this is, for some people, it could be their way of, it's like, well, I didn't get vaccinated. I'm going to have to stay home until I find out the results of my test. And then you get this Amazon test that seems like it would take several days between when they ship it. Then it takes a day at least to get to you. And then you test yourself. And then it takes another day or two. Like all of a sudden you've got a whole week off just waiting for your test results.
They say that, it's called at-home medical testing. And say pushing COVID to the side. But will this lead to down the road like a flu or a strep test or something like that?
That sounds like it could be helpful.
That might be nice. They say that people could take easily without a trip to the doctor's office. We weren't going anyway. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Not just for COVID, but
I'll
for
just stay home and tough it out.
Yeah, you just have to figure out what you have. But they say, like flu tests in the future, that might be something that can quickly then tell you. So that's about it. I mean, it seems like they just had some leftovers.
Yeah,
now
right.
they're selling them.
Yeah. Did you see that they're also selling, they already sell at-home COVID testing kits from, there's one company that does it for $99, and then there's a 10-minute testing kit that does it for $24.95. Why wouldn't you just get that? It's cheaper and faster.
So that one you don't have to send in?
No, I think that one you just get it's like a pregnancy test, I guess. You just find out.
10 minutes, right?
Yep, 10 minutes, and it gives you the plus sign. It means you're positive, I think.
No, it's the 2 double line.
Oh, the 2 double line. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, for Amazon, that's something that they were talking about, and now it's available.
There you go.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.